there's so many more things that baggers do that just don't get like noticed or talked about enough, and that's why I feel like a lot of people downplay the position, like, oh, being a bagger is so easy, you're like, oh, what are you gonna do, be a bagger, like things like that. And there's just a lot of other things that come into play becoming a bagger that people just like don't realize until they have the position, and then sometimes you're like, oh, this isn't what I expected, like I don't want to do this anymore. And it's like, well, you know, this is what you've kind of like signed up for. Hey guys, welcome back to another banging video, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about what baggers really do. I feel like I've touched base on a few of these positions here on my channel, so if you're new here, make sure y'all check it out. I like to do a lot of like helpful and advice videos. And today's I'm going to focus, I guess, like more on baggers. I will drop a more recent one with cashiers because I did it not too long ago where I, you know, explain like what cashiers do, what baggers do, but I'm trying to like update them since it is a new year, and I filmed those videos about 2 years ago, so certain things have changed. So yeah, I'm here to cover that, but we're gonna get down to the nitty-gritty of what baggers really do. So before we get started, if y'all could please like, comment, and subscribe, I would truly appreciate it because we're on the road to 10K and I'm just so excited. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that baggers do obviously is they bag, but there's so many more things that baggers do that just don't get like noticed or talked about enough, and that's why I feel like a lot of people downplay the position, like, oh, being a bagger is so easy, you're like, oh, what are you gonna do, be a bagger, like things like that. And there's just a lot of other things that come into play becoming a bagger that people just like don't realize until they have the position, and then sometimes you're like, oh, this isn't what I expected, like I don't want to do this anymore. And it's like, well, you know, this is what you've kind of like signed up for. So I want to start off by saying, I guess, the top 3 things baggers do. Obviously, yes, they do bag, and that's pretty standard. I feel like that's the one thing that everyone feels like they know how to do, and the most obvious thing that baggers do. Aside from bagging, baggers are basically like the cashier's right hand. So like if the cashier needs a price check on an item, they're gonna send the baggers to do that. If the cashier needs you to put away something, they're gonna send the bagger to do that. If somebody, like, I don't know, throws up, the bagger is gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Like the bagger is there to assist in whatever goes wrong in the cashier's line. Baggers also have like job responsibilities, in which I believe there's 3 of them. So one of them is bathroom, one of them is cashiers, and one of them are mats, like the rugs. So every morning and every night, and if you're not new here and you've seen some of my videos, I always say the mid shift is the best in terms of like bagging, just so that you can kind of avoid those things, because the opening baggers or the closing baggers always have to do one of those 3 like chores is what they call them. And basically you either clean the bathroom, which to me is the worst one, like I don't want to clean a bathroom. Clean obviously like the bathroom. You can clean the cashiers, which is like fairly easy to me, but I know a lot of baggers don't like that for some reason. I feel like maybe because they're up in the front and everyone's watching them, because there's legitimately so many baggers that rather do the bathroom than the cashiers, and I don't know why, because these bathrooms be dirty for real, you know what I'm saying, and like of other people's stuff. At least the cashiers, you just wipe them down, but it is in the front, so I guess, I don't know, they like to just do the bathroom in the back and just not be distracted. They feel like they're gonna clean anyway, and I know when they like usually clean the bathroom in the back, a lot of them put their headphones in and they just don't want to be distracted. Obviously working in the front, you still have to carry yourself a certain way, and that's, I feel like, what they're trying to avoid. And the 3rd chore would be the mats, which basically every single department has a rug in front of the department. Like when you go to the deli, there's a rug there. When you go to bakery, there's a rug there. And so the bagger is in charge of like rolling out the mats, vacuuming the mats, putting them back up, because like at night, like when the store closes, the mats cannot just stay out. Like you have to pick them all up and then the next morning put them all down. And when you pick them all up, you take them to the back of the store and you vacuum each one and then you roll it up. And it can get kind of like you're lifting these heavy mats. Granted, like one or two, okay, but like you're doing the whole store. You're not just doing your department, and you gotta vacuum them too. So it's just like I don't know. So those are the 3 chores that baggers have to do. Definitely opening or closing, but mid-shift sometimes they'll be like, oh, do a bathroom check, and you have to go check the bathroom, or you know, do a rug check or stuff like that. Aside from bagging, obviously baggers have to go get carts outside, and even when it's raining, baggers have to, give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, even when it's raining, baggers still have to go outside. The store will usually always provide, I forgot the name, but you know what I'm talking about, like the stuff so that you don't get wet, like kind of like cape, I would say. So they'll provide a cape and then you just put it on, but you still have to go out and like, hold on. You still have to like go out though and get all the carts while it's raining, so it's still like pretty uncomfortable, I would say. But those are the responsibilities, and there's been a lot of times where baggers have been like, I don't want to do that, like I don't want to walk out in the rain even though I'm gonna have like this cape on, just because understandably like you're still probably gonna get wet or your belongings might get wet or something, and it's just uncomfortable. And like it's kind of like part of your job to still go out there even if it's raining. And if you happen to have like a really sweet manager who's like, okay, like forget about it, like you don't have to go, regardless all the carts are going to be wet and it's going to be your responsibility to like wipe them down, so you still kind of like deal with the carts. Same thing with the bathroom. Like I feel like a lot of people are like, I don't want to clean the bathroom. There's like this one specific case scenario where I remember, I don't know if it was like a homeless person came into our store, completely like messed up the bathroom, like got toilet paper, wet it and threw it up in the ceiling, took off their pants and left it there with like number 2 on it. It was like insane. I've never seen something so nasty. And my friends had to actually go clean it, and I told my friend, I was like, don't do it, like don't do it, it's so nasty, you can literally get a bacteria. And he was like, he mentioned it to the team leader, and the team leader was like, honestly, like it just falls under you not completing like your, like you not complying with your job task, because it says like baggers have to clean the bathroom, like it doesn't state in any condition, like in any specific condition, it just says like in general, no matter how dirty. So I mean, I would have just taken the suspension because I'm not cleaning it, like I'm sorry, because for the most part they're never that dirty, but that was like a specific case scenario. But he couldn't risk getting suspended, so he had to clean it. So it was a little bit uncomfortable. I feel like sometimes as a bagger, like you have a lot of like leeway, you do get some tips, you know, like they say you're not supposed to, but like be realistic, people always tip you. But you know, at the same token, you're like everyone's, what do they call it, right hand or left hand, you're like everyone's hand basically. And if they need something, they're gonna call a bagger because a bagger can never be too busy, right? Like, you know, so a lot of stuff does fall on you. There's a lot of pros, but at the same time it has its cons. I think it's a good entry-level position, but to not stay there long, like to just immediately go to a cashier. Like I said, as a cashier, I would a lot of times like look at baggers and be like, damn, like they have so much more leeway, or they just like they make tips, like, and I just hated that cashiers, like we didn't have that leeway and we didn't make tips, but at the same token we also didn't have to be cleaning the bathrooms, and like, so just everything has its pros and its cons. But yeah, if you want to become a bagger, like it's cool and everything, it's a good starter position, and that way you can kind of like see also like what cashiers do and what customer service associates do if you want to move up. But it's not a position that you want to stay too long in, and it definitely also has its downfalls. Aside from those things though, that's really like what baggers do. They just be like cleaning stuff. Sometimes they gotta sweep, sometimes they gotta roll the machine around the store to mop the floor. Like, they really just like clean a lot and bag stuff and get carts and just be like a right hand to different positions, like majority being like customer service associates and cashiers. So if they say go put back a product or stuff like that, that's what they gotta do. And then the pay for that is usually like 11 bucks or like 12 bucks or something like that. Nothing crazy, but it's not bad either. And then like plus the tips that you're not supposed to receive, but be realistic, everybody receives. So with that being said, that just kind of like concludes what baggers do. I'm just gonna go ahead and do another video explaining, I guess, like what cashiers do, even though I have like so many on my channel, so I might wait for that one, or I might not, I don't know. But check out, if you want to see like what cashiers really do and stuff, I have plenty of those videos. And I also have more videos about bagging and stuff, but I feel like bagging is just, well, cashiers too, but it's like an entry-level position, so I really just wanted to touch base on that. There will also be one featuring pharmacy, so if you want to know what pharmacy techs do, I got you. But other than that, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.